being immortal. So when you is hard for a quarter, man, we gonna ride. I'm not playing. We ain't leaving out a dub. I promise you. I'm getting everything out.
That beat shit is far a little ball.
Hey, I like thanks to my nigga them. We gon' play with them pistols here. We smoking dank in my liver, yo. We get shit wet on the river, yo. We get shit wet like the river, yo. I wet shit like Austin Rivers, yo. Hey, check me out. On my side is getting wicked, nigga sliding. Mama told that boy to shake the city, so he ride. On that Mac, it be a titty, show no pity when we diving. Roll your brother in the game before he hitting, why you hiding? OG now be dropping bags, no I don't, bitch, why you lying? MS Closet popping tags, spent 5 racks on my designer. Put 15 up on your ass, but that's your ass.
Please, bro. Please, bro.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Sideline Surge. Today for college football, the season is over, but we still have things to talk about. We have transfer portal things to talk about and draft things to talk about, and that is probably the majority of what our college football segments will be until, we get past the draft, we get into like preseason stuff. So yeah, today we get to talk about first about the transfer portal. There is a lot of transfer portal stuff that's going to be happening every week. And this week, the way I wanted to start it off is just talking about like top 5 prospects in kind of each thing. So like first the top 5 quarterbacks that are in the transfer portal, and then the top 5 just overall players that aren't quarterbacks, according to obviously ESPN's reporting. I'm going to talk about the positional and the team value, and Samaj is going to talk more about the individual players themselves. But first off, we gotta talk about quarterbacks. Um, let's do it from 1 to 5. The top quarterback in the transfer portal right now is Brandon Sorsby. He is a redshirt junior from Cincinnati. He is transferring to Texas Tech University. We saw the success that Texas Tech University had this year. They got a lot of NIL money, they got a lot of investment to use, and it gave them results. They got to the playoffs. Sorsby has 1 year remaining of eligibility. He used to be from Indiana. He played pretty well at Cincinnati. I know, Cincinnati didn't have like the amazing season, right, that other teams had, but he still had a good season. So Samaj, now that he's gonna be coming to Texas Tech University, Texas Tech already did pretty well this season. How much further do you think they can go with a quarterback like Sorsby?
I mean, what the thing about Sorsby is that like not only is that he's a good overall quarterback, is that he's a good leader as well. So I feel like with him going to Texas Tech, I get kind of gives him an advantage. Like we haven't seen Texas Tech be this good in I want to say maybe 4 years, right? Well, at least close to this in 4 years. So for them to actually have a pretty decent year, it's actually very good. So I mean, with that, I don't know. 1 year remaining, going to Texas Tech, that's actually not a bad thing to do. I mean, it's one of the smarter decisions. I just know there's going to be some people like doubting it to see if Texas Tech is a school that he should go to, for 1 year left. But even then, I don't really see too much of a problem with it. He's already, top ranked QB. So I mean, he already has the upper hand, as far as his draft stock and everything. So if he finishes out his last year strong, then I mean, he's pretty much sealing the deal.
Do you see him like this year increasing his draft stock? Because I mean, a lot of people say he's probably gonna be like, for like at least a first rounder, especially if he does well this year.
Increasing his draft stock. I mean, yeah, I think that right now he's definitely one of the better QBs in the drafts. But next year he'll for sure be like that top 3 QB, because right now I mean you already have Mendoza and Beck pretty much on the way out of here. So with that, it's not too much competition. And then Manning, he's going to be in his I think second or last year next year already, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like even with that, it's not like he has too much competition as far as QBs, coming up. Like the rest that are just getting in, they're freshmen, you know, they're sophomores. He's a redshirt junior, so
Yeah,
he's already been there for for so many years. So I mean, if he does pretty good, it's definitely going to help a lot.
yeah. Next up, we got Sam Levitt. He is a redshirt sophomore. We saw what he did at Arizona State. He is going to be transferring to a very new LSU team, a team that is going to be coached by former Ole Miss head coach. Um, why am I blanking on his name?
Thank
What's
you.
his name? Yeah, Lake Kiffin. I don't know why I blanked on his name. Um, a coach who took Ole Miss pretty far, who took a formerly D2 quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss, and made him uh, one of the top quarterbacks in college football this year. And now he's gonna have time to develop Sam Levitt. He's gonna have exactly 2 years. Um, he played very well with Cam Scadaboo at ASU as a freshman, and now he's gonna get a chance to play in SEC football with LSU. Yeah, like he had a lot of offers. I think I heard that he might have been coming to Miami, and obviously not anymore. Um, and yeah, now he's going to be at LSU, a team that is obviously it had a rough year this year, and they're going to be looking for a better year, like a much better than they did this year. What do you think he'll add to that LSU team?
Um, I mean, I don't really know. I feel like right now we kind of can't even say anybody is going to add too much to the LSU. It's so much changes happening over there. You already have a new head coach, and then either other coaches coming in. You have a bunch of transfers that's going on. So it's like even then, I don't really see there being too much of a big deal about it as far as him actually going there and changing stuff. But he could definitely be a great addition to the team because at least now you're going into a fresh program where everybody is after the same thing. It's not like you have somebody that's been there for so long. Like, nah, head coach just got there, other coaches just got there, and then now you're bringing in some transfers, even some over from Ole Miss. So like that chemistry is still there. So I mean, the overall vision is still going to be good. But as far as him, 2 years left, I think he'll be pretty good. They have some weapons over there for sure. I don't really see too many people. I guess you could say transferring over there because of like all the stuff that's going on as far as the program. But I know with the people that they are getting, they will definitely be able to work something out with. I mean, Lane Kiffin, he did good. Like he took Ole Miss that far. Even if he wasn't there for postseason, like he was still there for pretty much 80% of it. So
Yeah,
I mean, if he could bring that over to LSU, then Sam he'll for sure be good.
yeah, and then we have another redshirt sophomore. We talked about how Sam Levitt, he looked at Miami and Miami looked at him. And Miami, the QB that we knew for a while that was going to go to Miami was Darian Mensah from Duke, who came from Tulane in his freshman year. Um, Obviously there was a little bit of controversy that Duke didn't want him to leave, but eventually Mensah was able to leave, and now he's coming to Miami. He is a redshirt sophomore. He led Duke as an all ACC performer to a basically a Cinderella run to win the ACC as a 9-5 team, which I think is just outright insane, and something we've definitely haven't seen before, at least in a long time. He is, according to ESPN, he's a dual threat. He has intelligence. He's got good passing, and I mean, when we watched Duke, you could see that in him. He's a good player, like there's no doubt about it. But now we have a team, Miami. They just came off a championship run with Carson Beck, who is good. But I know that a lot of people might say that Menso is better or that Cam Ward was also better. So do you think there will be a lot of pressure for Mensa to perform and even try to take them to a championship again?
I don't think so, only because with you have somebody that's pretty much guaranteed to get drafted, and then somebody else is coming into the program fresh. I
Yeah,
don't think it's too much pressure because it's like it's a completely different vision. It's not like you had somebody that was guaranteed top pick for the draft. Like you expect that out of them. You expect them to lead, but
yeah,
it's like when you have Darian with him is. it's not necessarily that he can't lead or like he can't, influence a team to be very good. It's just that you're pretty much throwing a toothpick in a lumberyard. Like you don't know, like you really don't know what's going on, bro.
Yeah,
So with that, it's like
that's a
I
really
don't
funny
know,
way to
but
put it. A
I mean,
toothpick in
like,
a
but
lumberyard. I like that.
that's how it is though.
I
Like, I
like
mean,
that.
like you're pretty much going in blind. Like you don't
Yeah,
know what's going to happen. So I mean, for him as an individual, like he's a great quarterback for sure. Like I think he's one of the best as far as CFB right now, college football.
and
So
he's gonna
with
have
that, like,
weapons. He's gonna have so many
is
weapons on that
exactly.
offense.
So I don't like he's not going to be a problem for sure, but that pressure that's completely different. I don't think anybody's going to have too much pressure on him because it's like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be his first year there. Is like completely thrown into it. I don't see him like doing so much.
yeah. Um, Second to last, we have a freshman who is transferring from North Texas, who is an insanely good power four like player to Oklahoma State, who, as you might remember, made the playoffs this year, although they lost to Alabama, surprisingly, in the first round of the playoffs. Um, he was, the nation's leading passer. He had a pretty good season. He led the number one scoring offense in college football. Um, he is Drew Messamaker. And, you know, North Texas, it's a school that we don't talk about a lot, obviously. Now he's gonna have a chance to make it big in SEC football. He's gonna have a chance to, maybe make a run for the college football playoff again, which that opportunity he did not get at North Texas, and he's gonna get the opportunity to increase his draft value. So what do you think Mestamaker will be able to bring to Oklahoma State?
Um, as far as what he could bring, for sure, just being able to air it out, like being able to actually lead offense very well, like a well-oiled machine. It's just that as far as him, impacting the overall team, I'm not too sure about that because I mean, 3 years remaining, pretty much freshman. And so with that, it's like now we kind of have a similar situation with Arch Manning. Like
Yeah,
he's pretty much going there fresh, nothing to do, has a lot of eligibility left. So it's kind of like he has to go to a team that's kind of already built something, if in a way. So with that, he kind of has to like jump right on board and be able to just take off from there. But as far as his gameplay, him being on the fields and all that, he's for sure gonna be good. Oklahoma State, I feel like is one of the schools to where they might not have like a bunch of recruits, but they're still that sleeper school that like once they get going, it's kind of hard to like stop them. So I think that they will be pretty good with him.
do you think Mestamaker will have any problems against SEC defenses?
Not really. I don't think so. Like I think that more of just right now, SEC, it's not too much competition. I'm gonna be honest. Like every team is kind of even. Like
Yeah,
I don't see any team being over anymore. It's like of course you have your Georgia, your Bama, you got Texas, Tennessee. Like none of them are really over each other anymore. Like they're all kind of even in a way. Now, I
yeah.
mean, there's for sure teams that you could look at. It's like they're not really too much of a threat, but they're still a very good school. So I don't think that he would have too much as far as SEC at all, really.
Yeah. Then the final, our fifth quarterback in this portal, Byron Brown. He is a junior. He's gonna have 1 year remaining, and he is going to spend that year at Auburn. He comes from the University of South Florida. He led all FBS quarterbacks with 42 touchdowns in the regular season. He had the number one QBR and PFF grade among all Group of Five starters. USF was a team that impressed a lot of us very early on in the season, yes, and still late in the season. Although they had that tough loss against Miami, they impressed us in their games against North Texas. They impressed in the defeat of UF. I'm blanking on the other teams that they beat, but I know that they beat other strong teams. And now he's gonna go to Auburn, and again, he's gonna get a chance in the SEC, which everyone, like the SEC is kind of like the proving grounds for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be playing to, in his last season to try to make it to the draft. So again, what do you think that Brown will be able to accomplish at Auburn?
Hmm. I don't know. I think that Auburn is, another one of those schools to where you, you won't have like too much of a problem as far as producing, prospects.
Yeah,
But even then, it's just like Auburn, they're not like the craziest, athletic school. So it's not like you're going into there with a bunch of, top recruits, that's been playing together for a minute. Like, nah, you're going into a school that's pretty much they have their resume, they have, the stars that went there. But as far as just, season by season, they're not the team that's always able to produce and go to the playoffs. So I mean, as far as him by himself, of course, he's gonna be great for sure. But just the overall success of the team, it probably won't be influenced a whole lot by him. 1
yeah,
year left. I mean, you're pretty much going into a team that's again, somewhat established. So you're pretty much going to have to try to do everything you can to keep up with them. And then also your relationship with the coach as well. If your coach is like, if he favors you, if he really, likes your game and he wants you to lead, he'll probably let you call most of the plays. Like it's stuff like that that kind of plays into it. So I mean, as far as Brown, he's for sure, phenomenal as a quarterback. It's just, going to Auburn from USF, it's completely different. Like you're going from a
yeah,
school that's really not, for football, then into a school that kind of is football. So it's completely different, ball games. But I think that he'll still, be able to at least lead them to something, even if it's not all the way to, a chip. He'll be able to lead them to a, a good winning record at the end of the season. So
yeah. All right. Now let's move on to our non-QB positions. First up, we got Cam Coleman, wide receiver from Auburn. He's a sophomore, so he has 2 years remaining, and he's going to be transferring to Texas to play with Archie Manning. Now, he was the number 5 overall recruit in the 2024 ESPN 300. He is a very talented wide receiver. He played really well in Auburn. It's kind of weird that he's just transferring to another SEC team. But I mean, who wouldn't, right? On a team that has Archie Manning, who is he's supposed to become a very good quarterback, and he comes from a line of very good quarterbacks. So what kind of option do you think Texas is trying to give Archie Manning with this transfer?
um hmm. I don't know. It could play out anyway. And like I think that with Manning, he still has, potential. I just feel like with him being at a school like Texas, it wasn't really good for him because he's going from, being able to have Quinn Ewers as a starter, be
Yeah.
able to have that night, like not have that pressure on him, and then be able to come in the game and dominate. So
Hmm.
it's like with him to become a starter, you have that Manning last name, that like that carries a lot of weight, as far as football. So even that, by itself, it's just that could be too much to handle. So for Manning, as far as just him, he he can do good, but he lets the pressure get to him too much. So
Yeah.
there could be moments in the game where Cam could be wide open, and then something goes wrong, stuff like that. So I think that as far as the connection, they'll be good. It's just that connection has to carry out onto the field. It has to carry out in game time. Like if it's not there, then Cam he might be looking to transfer somewhere else in the season, or something. So
Yeah.
we don't really know as far as that part of it. But I mean, it's interesting to see because now we really get to see, two people that are pretty much, like right there to getting drafted, not too much eligibility left. So I mean, this may be that turning point for them. They may, lock in now and try to go crazy, that way it ups the draft stock. You never know. So I think Cam would be good. It's just we gotta hope Manning he's able to be, that freshman Manning that will come in the game and just dominate.
Yeah. Next up, we got another transfer to LSU, Jordan Seaton, an offensive tackle who's going to be transferring over to LSU. He had experience already playing the season under Deion Sanders and Colorado, and that team. We all know how elite Deion Sanders' coaching was, and now he's gonna be brought in to protect LSU's new quarterback Sam Levitt under a whole new program, as we said under Lane Kiffin. How important do you think it's gonna be for Lane Kiffin and LSU to give um Levitt the protection that he needs to excel, and how do you think Seaton is going to be able to provide that for him?
I mean, it's definitely important for sure. You know, you're SEC. That's where a lot of the top dogs come from as far as defense. So I mean, just that alone, like that's a lot. You know, it's a lot of pressure that is on the team. And then just even Levitt as well. Him trying to be able to get out of the pocket and do stuff like that. But I mean, as far as them trying to bring in some more people, is great. Like that's what you want. You never want to try to go into a program that's already like that is nobody there really. Like
Yeah,
it's only the people that's been there for probably like 3 4 years already are on their way out. Like no, you want new people to come in with you as well because it kind of gives you a break in a way. It's not so much on you. Like
yeah,
everybody's new to it in a way. So for Jordan, for him, he's I mean, I've watched him at Colorado. I've been rocking with Colorado, ever since Dion got there,
yeah.
and Dion even before that. But just Jordan alone, for sure, one of the best players I've seen at Colorado. So for him to go to a even better team, that it could also help him not just as his skill, but with his mindset overall. Like it may help him with publicity. Like it's stuff like that. So it's gonna be a good experience for him. We just have to see what it will carry on as far as the fields. Because I mean, LSU is there. It's a good school, bro. I just feel like with so much that they have been going through, as far as the program, just this season alone, it might be a lot to handle. But Lane Kiffin, he's doing he's doing as best he can. So yeah, as long as the new transfers and all the recruits, as long as they ball out, it'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, like we're still talking about LSU here. Prince Will Umanmielen, he's an edge pass rusher who's also going to LSU. He's coming from Ole Miss, as you said. He's coming with Lane Kiffin, and we saw how Lane Kiffin transformed that Ole Miss defense. And even after he left, we saw that they were able to give problems to very good teams. They were able to give problems to Miami. They were able to give problems to other teams in the playoffs. And the whole season, they were able to produce that good defense. And now, he's gonna come with Kiffin to LSU. So, because Kiffin is bringing in players from Ole Miss, how important do you think that's gonna be for the chemistry at LSU?
I mean, it's definitely gonna be good. I mean, me and as 2K players
Yeah,
and my team, you got team chemistry, bro. If your
yeah,
team chemistry is 100%, y'all all gonna like play well together. So it's kind of like you're taking percentages of that from your old team and pretty much bringing it over, you know. And I feel like it's more of the players that's staying at Ole Miss. They're going like their chemistry, of course, is going to be off, but then it's like, oh, I'm going to LSU with them. It's
yeah,
not like there's any imbalance here. Like you're still going to have that that sweet relationship with them. So with that is it's for sure going to play a huge part, but it all depends on how that's going to affect the new people coming in. That wasn't at Ole Miss, or just getting to LSU. So that's what is really going to affect, and like that's what is going to influence because now if they're able to get in good with the players coming from Ole Miss and Kiffin, now it's like they're already a part of it. They're already a part of the team at Ole Miss in a way. So with that, it's for sure going to play a huge part. We just have to see like um we're pretty much like how Kiffin is going to coach overall as far as LSU.
yeah.
Is completely different environment, stuff like that. So that's what is really going to come down to. I don't think chemistry is going to be too big of a deal. It's for sure going to play a part, but it's not going to be like too much. So I think it's overall just how he's going to coach it.
Yeah. Next up, we got another offensive tackle, Jacarius Peak. He's going to be transferring from NC State to South Carolina. He's going to be a redshirt junior. This was, you know, he is very good. He surrendered only 4 sacks and more than 1,100 career snaps in pass protection. And he is going to be very important for South Carolina, a team who let their quarterback Lenore Sellers get sacked 42 times in 2025, the most among all Power 4 QBs, and pressured on 42% of his dropbacks. So this was one of the best, decisions that South Carolina could have made, getting Jacarius Peak. What kind of effect do you think Peak will make on the South Carolina team?
Um, I mean, I'm not too sure. We've talked about it. We've talked about South Carolina as far as them just being a good program. Definitely one of the sleeper schools, but uh, going from NC State to South Carolina, it's different. It's not like you're at a school to where you have like so much stuff going on. I feel like it's one of the more chill programs in a way, if you get what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
with them, it's like, yeah, they'll be able to. Yeah, I mean, well, not they. He'll be able to, up ball out for sure. I mean, you're still SEC.
yeah,
It is you're right there. So you're going to get a lot of eyes on you already. But I mean, as far as just peak, I think that he will be able to do good. It really all depends on how the overall team is doing, because like, yeah, he may be doing good as far as the tackle. He may be holding for so long, get some pancakes or whatever, be like great at blocking or everything, but the team not really winning, or it's like you don't really have a QB that's that to really protect. Like, I mean, at that point, you're kind of doing everything for nothing in a way. So I don't know. And like individually, he's for sure going to be good. Like I don't think he's going to have a problem at all, especially at South Carolina. South Carolina is for sure, one of those schools like you can go to and ball out. So yeah, he's going to be good, man. I don't think it's too much like in that area for him to even be worried about.
yeah. Lastly, we got Mateen Ibirogba. He is a defensive tackle who is going from Wake Forest to Texas Tech as a junior. He will have 1 year remaining, and that 1 year he will play at Texas Tech. We already talked a little bit about Texas Tech with Brendan Sorsby, was it? Yeah. Um, and we saw what Texas Tech was able to do this year, and now they're adding more weapons to that team. Um, Texas Tech already has a lot of good DT transfers. They last year they got three really good transfers, and you saw how well their defense did this year. So now that they're adding more, uh, do you think Texas Tech University has the potential to have the number one defense in college football this year?
One, that's a little bit of a stretch because
Or at least
it's
defensive
always.
line?
But even like overall, like, yeah, they could, but just even when you go to certain parts of it, it's really hard to tell, because there's some schools where their DBs are amazing, their safeties are great, and then their O line is like all right, and then another school, it's like it's different, like their D
Yeah,
line, it may be good, it's so with that, it's like, yeah, they have a chance to really be good as far as on their D line, but I think overall, as far as just defense, it's not going to improve them so much to where they can even be, talked about as far as top three, as far as just defense, because it's so random. You will have schools that may have like great names on paper, but then it's like in game they're doing horrible. Like we've seen that too much recently, especially with all the best teams in just this season. So with that, it's like is really random, because I mean, we see the same thing last year with UM. UM's defense was not that great, but now look at this year. Their defense jumped to number one, like um pretty much instant. Like it was right there to where their defense was like that, and they weren't
yeah,
even talked about at all as far as being one of the top ranked defense last year. So I mean, yeah, it could help. I just think it's going to come down to chemistry, as far as long as they move as a unit, they know what they're doing as far as plays being called, like their the individual movements and all that, then they'll for sure be good, 100%. Texas Tech, bro, like, bro, you even talked about like how Texas Tech and North Texas, they're for sure teams that like they're solid, bro.
yeah.
So they'll be good. They'll for sure be top five at least.
Yeah. Lastly, before we end off the episode, the Senior Bowl is underway in Mobile, Alabama. If for those of you who don't know, the Senior Bowl practices, every year they'll have more than 100 top prospects working out in front of coaches, scouts, and personnel from all 32 NFL teams. It's basically a chance for all the seniors to show what they can do, um, show that they can play, that show all their skills. And well, maybe not surprisingly, but the biggest takeaway so far, today they practiced, but the report hasn't come out yet. But from yesterday and Tuesday, today's Thursday, so Wednesday and Tuesday, um, the biggest positions, like the best positions, have been both the defensive line and then today the defensive, or yesterday the defensive backs. So defense in general seems to be very strong in the draft. And my question for you, Samaj, is do you think that's a sign that, we already saw how important defense has been this year in the NFL? Do you think defense is just going to keep getting better with this draft class of defenders?
I mean, is like it's inevitable. It's going to get better. Like, bro, I don't see defense going from like it being so good, like not even just in NFL, like college football overall, like it being so good to where it just drops down out of nowhere. Like, nah, bro.
Yeah,
All
it's only
imagine
going to
all
keep
these
getting better.
players, yeah, like it's only going to get better, bro. Only going to get better. Imagine all those players going to great defensive teams. Come on, like it's only going to boost them up. And even if they may go to that team, get traded or contract is up, get released with like whatever, and they go to somewhere else, they still
Yeah,
got all that knowledge that they've had, about being at that team. So like just stuff like that, bro. It defense only gets better, bro. Like this drive, I think is more, in my opinion, I think it's more of a defensive drive than anything.
yeah,
Offense, like as far as weapons, I don't see too much. Like, yeah, you have, your headliners, yeah, you have like your top names on offense, but other than that, defense is taking this drive, bro.
and it's going to be really deep.
They're very deep, bro. Like defense there is it's insane right now. That's like the amount of skill that's coming in and out, bro. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna do it for today's episode of the college football section of our show. So yeah.
Yeah, 60 on it. Yep, low spur. We going all the way up. Yeah. I'm gonna turn this bitch all the way up. Hey, Brandon, why you? Yeah. I'm on the block with that heavy, yeah. On the block with that heavy. Watch out for cops that pull up in them Chevys. Whip out the crack, my main trap, her name Betty. These niggas don't want no smoke on my body. Gucci and Louis can't do no Zanati. Bad bitch on me look like she hang with Kylie. I used to fuck with a bitch, hang with Kylie. On the real, I think that bitch live in Cali. My boy shot the powder, the flower, that Kylie. Yeah. I could've been a stylist. I remember when the boys used to dollars. I got a girl that trap like she from Dallas. I got so much money, need an accountant. She said
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sideline Surge. Today we're doing NFL, and I'm tired from school, but do not mistake that for a lack of excitement that the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl. When I say happy, I don't think I can show the excitement that I feel that my team has made it to the Super Bowl. I don't know how to explain it. We had a crazy weekend. First off, before we go into Seahawks, let's talk about the AFC Championship. I think a lot of people were disappointed by the AFC Championship. Going into it, we already knew it would be unexpected because we were without Bo Nix and we were going to be playing with Jared Stidham. We did hope that he would give us a Nick Foles performance, but unfortunately that did not happen. However, he did have an okay game. He gave us false hope with his touchdown to start the game. But it just didn't come to fruition. Uh, on the Broncos side of the ball, Stidham didn't even get. He only had 133 yards. He had a touchdown and interception, and he got sacked 3 times. We didn't see the big rushing game that we're used to seeing from Denver. We didn't see any receivers go crazy. And then on the other side of the ball, Drake May, who, we were thinking of a top quarterback all year, hit only 86 yards on the day. He did have an impressive 65 yards rushing with a rushing touchdown to put the Patriots over. But still, he got sacked 5 times. This was, for all intents and purposes, a battle of the trenches with Ramondre Stevenson going 71 yards rushing. And it was just complete chaos with a snowstorm, making the game even harder. There were like about 3 missed kicks, I believe, that basically made the game a slow burner, and it ended up only 10-7. So looking at that game, how much hope do you have for the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
I mean, I don't know, man. Like I've had hope for them all year because like just how they play. I mean, I called this out like weeks ago. I don't. There was really no other teams that play as well as these two teams right here. You know, like
Yeah,
they move. You know, so fluid. So it's not like they're going to have too much of a problem. But just with the Patriots, it's like yeah, schedule does come into the question. Yeah, like all that is going to be like, oh, like have they really played the top dogs? Like, I mean, yeah, they have, but that doesn't compare to a Seahawks team that's played against dogs all year, bro.
yeah,
They've played against literally like heavy hitters almost every single game, you know. So it's like, are we really seeing, you know, the Patriots kind of get bailed out a lot, or is like they're just that good to where they can, you know, still come out on top?
yeah,
That's the question is going to be asking. You know, like I don't think anybody's questioning the Seahawks. They've been balling out, you know, since Darnold got there. So I mean, like, you know, like it's not much you could ask about them. But just with you know, the Patriots, I'm happy for them. You know, like they haven't been there in many years, and even with the Hawks, it's been, you know, years as well. So this is literally like two, I guess you could say, like, you know, one very strong dynasty coming back, and then, you know, one team that's been well for years with Russell Wilson, Lisa Boom, you know, Marshall
yeah,
Lynch.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we're kind of seeing that come back in a way. So I mean, this might be the best Super Bowl that we've had, you know, in recent years. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to see.
I think I'm gonna talk about the Seahawks after we talk about the game. But for the Patriots, like I think it speaks to the I mean, you can talk about, their schedule, about the Tom Brady dynasty. You can talk about, oh, like they cheat or whatever, but like I think there are major props to be given to the organization for,
Yeah,
they changed, they had coaching problems, they had quarterback problems. They were a 4-13 team, and they made all the right moves to put them in a position for success, right? They aren't the
yeah,
ones who did the work, but they put themselves in a position to succeed. And I mean, shout out to Mike Vrabel. He turned. I honestly would make him my candidate for Coach of the Year. He turned a 4-13 team that was down on their luck. Their draft pick did not look the best, and took them all the way to the Super Bowl, right? Like say it's luck, say it's a bad schedule or whatever. I mean, like I can see the critiques is valid because like they did go against teams who were less than good, or like they didn't have to go against Bo Nix. They, all these critiques, yes, but they still every single day they did the work, and now they're in the Super Bowl because of it. And I think that is very impressive. I really hope Mike Vrabel wins the Coach of the Year award because I think he deserves it. And yeah, like it's crazy that it took the organization, major props to the organization for being out of a dynasty for maybe 5 years or so, and they're already making a play to make another dynasty. Like that's just crazy to me. And then for the NFC Championship, that I saw a meme online that was like, going from the Broncos Patriots game to the Seahawks Rams game was like watching the JV play and then the varsity team play. And that's honestly how it felt for me on Sunday watching these two teams. I was so freaking stressed the whole day. And oh my God, that game was so stressful. I did not need that in my life, but it was exciting. It was such a good game. I think we got very lucky. Um, but we went out, we did the work, and we won. Like I don't know what else to say. Matthew Stafford showed why he's the MVP. He got 3 touchdowns on the day. He completed 22 of his 35 passes. He got 374 yards. I mean, the Rams were making the Seahawks work for it, and it was good. Puka had his 165 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Adams had his 89 yards and a touchdown. It was a very good game from the Rams. Now, the Rams made mistakes at the end of the day. And the most crucial of those mistakes was their punt returner, Xavier Smith, dropped a punt, which credit to the Seahawks punter who like he specifically punts it very high to catch punt returners off guard. and he dropped it. The Seahawks recovered and they made a touchdown. Now, also props to the Seahawks. Every time that the Rams gave them something that they made a mistake or gave them something to hold on to, they took advantage of it. And I think that's what got the Seahawks through on the day. Sam Darnold had 346 yards, very similar to Matthew Stafford. He had 25 out of 36 passes completed, three touchdowns as well. You know, we had very similar stories from the quarterbacks today. Kenneth Walker, K9, got his. He had 62 yards and a touchdown. Um, JSN, I mean, he made a 153-yard game with a touchdown, by the way, look like a normal Tuesday for him. He had 10 receptions only, basically getting 15 yards on average for each one. Um, it was just the Seahawks did everything that they needed to win. It's really nothing else to say about it. Um, Going into the Super Bowl though, like who do you think will have the Super Bowl in this rematch, the Seahawks or the Patriots?
I got the Hawks, man. I have to go to Hawks.
I really hope so.
Like
It's the
bro,
revenge game.
they've come so far. Like, bro,
Mm.
you played the Niners multiple times. You played the Rams multiple times. Your division is arguably one of the hardest divisions, bro. And you made it
It's
this far
horrible.
after like, come on. I don't see them losing this game. I
I
don't.
think also like we gotta talk about the same thing with the Patriots. We have to talk about the organization. I think what's his name? How do I not know our CEO? The Seahawks CEO, the owner, got executive or not the owner, what's his name? Got executive of the year, I'm pretty sure. What's the executive of GM? That's the word for it, general manager. John Schneider, he's, you know, he is the executive of the year, I'm pretty sure. And you know, what's most impressive is that he made this Super Bowl with a completely different Seahawks team to the last Super Bowl team. It's complete, every single player is different. And it's a whole different defense, a lot of young guys, a whole different offense, and also credit to Mike McDonald in the second year, turned the Seahawks around, brought them to the Super Bowl, and made Sam Darnold look really fucking good. I'm not gonna lie. Sam Darnold is the first of the 2018 draft class to go to the Super Bowl, and that's a draft class, mind you, that includes uh Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. It is a stacked QB draft class, and the fact that Sam Darnold, you know, uh went from looking really bad at the Jets to then going to back up at the Panthers, back up at the Niners, then going to the Vikings, and he still did not convince the Vikings with a 14-3 season, and then coming to the Seahawks and giving them a 14-3 season. You know, how much does that speak to you about the grit of this team, of Sam Darnold, of JSN, of Mike McDonald, of Schneider?
I mean, me and you addressed this before, bro. That makes you an elite QB for sure. So when you're able to literally go to a team that's like they really need a miracle because like don't get me wrong, Vikings are like it's not like they're one of the worst teams ever. It's like
Yeah,
they just don't know where they stand at. You know, like they're is yeah you had the just Jefferson hype for so long, then that's like that's kind of where it died off. Like they weren't trying to put more pieces there. So for him to go there 14-3 season, then it's like they didn't really count him too much. Like it's like it
we
could have
could
been
do
a
this
fluke
with
or
any
whatever.
other quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's exactly. So for him to go to a completely different team, then it's like he does it again, but at an even crazier level. That speaks volume. So
yeah.
for him to like do that and go to a team with a bunch of stars, that says everything right there. Because now that like okay, now I could really trust you. And it's not like oh you're coming from a team that's like they were already somewhat good and like you could have been a system QB or whatever. Like, nah, he's going out there and getting the ball to JSN. Like he's getting the ball to Jarpone when he was there, to Walker. Like he was doing everything he could, to make sure the team is actually sustained, like just doing everything pretty much. So I mean, as far as like them trusting him, that goes a long way. for him to really be his first year there, and he's so well with the team. That's going to build bridges that can't be burned at all.
Yeah.
Now they're going to be able to trust you in every situation. So that's why I think like with the Hawks, they have it easier here. Like you have so many pieces that's that work so well together, and like you could depend on really anybody. So I don't know. I think as far as the overall team, if they really like they really want him there, they're for sure going to be a dynasty down the road. He's still young. It's not like he's like later on. Like nah, he
Yeah.
still got time. You still got rookies coming in, new and pretty much brand new coach as well. I mean, bro, like they're going to be good in the long run.
Yeah. Moving on, we got headlines. We got some new coaches. The Browns have finally hired their next head coach. It will be Todd Monken, the former Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator. This came as a surprise. A lot of people expected him to follow Harbaugh to the New York Giants, but no, he's going to take his chance at a head coaching position. Now, I think it's good that the Browns hired an offensive-minded coach, but he's not exactly coming into the best situation. He's stuck with Deshaun Watson's massive contract, uh, and stuck with two rookie quarterbacks. I guess they're going into their sophomore year now, who didn't really convince a lot of people, both Shador and Dylan Gabriel. What do you think Todd Monken will be able to do with that at the Browns?
I mean, if you want to have a full view of it, you got to bring politics into it. So with that is like now he may be able to change the view as far as politics on that franchise.
Yeah,
He may not see it as like, okay, yeah, you have that last name. Shador has that last name, and people don't like his dad or whatever. Now they're gonna try to bash the kid just because he wants to live his dream and stuff like that. And then now you're trying to bring Dylan Gabriel into it. Now it's a whole bunch of stuff behind that, or is he not good enough? Is he too small? Is he not experienced? Like it's stuff like that is gonna come into play. Then when you have Watson's contract, it's a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be like pulling on each other. So if he's able
yeah,
to go onto that team and at least straighten a few of those wrinkles out and be able to like have all those problems, not all, but some problems gone, then they'll be good. But I mean, Shador made the Pro Bowl, bro. Like
yeah,
rookie year made the Pro Bowl, like, and so many people were hating on him. Like you have to understand that you can't expect somebody to come into the league with so much pressure because of one part of their name and
yeah,
of what they've been through to literally be the greatest player of all time. You can never expect that. That's the word. Like you're setting yourself up. Your expectations are too high.
yeah,
So I feel like people they kind of seen that in a way that they shouldn't have. Like oh Shador's not good enough, bro. Shador will go out there and still throw for 200-300 yards and have some touchdowns. He still did good. So is like yeah, there is some money problems as far as the contract. Yeah, you have too many QBs on the roster. Like yeah, that's a problem. But if he's able to work around that and at least be able to establish something there, like even if he can't change it around in one season, yeah, I mean, and most likely in the next two seasons, he'll be able to have a good team going. I just think that they kind of have to like not put the pressure so much on just one person. They have to put it on
yeah,
everybody. That way it'll even it out.
yeah. And then finally, we have some Hall of Fame controversy that we gotta talk about. Bill Belichick has been snubbed for Hall of Fame as a head coach of the year. Everyone, and I mean everyone in media and like players, were expecting him to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and it looks like he probably won't be now. Now, in my opinion, it's not that I'm not surprised. I think I am surprised, but I think that it's fair because although yes, he went to a lot of Super Bowls and stuff and whatever, there was that thought inside of me when when Tom Brady left the Patriots and Bill Belichick did not succeed without him. That's kind of why I wouldn't have put him as a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm definitely surprised that he didn't get it because at the end of the day, he still won. He still has all those rings. Tom Brady or not, he still has all those rings. Tom Brady or not, Bill Belichick was the coach who was in charge of the team and was in charge of Tom Brady. So I am still surprised, but I can see why. Are you surprised? Would you have put him in?
I mean, I would have because you have to call a spade for a spade, bro. You have to.
Yeah.
You have coaches that have been, like, yeah, they may be a decent coach, but their success really rides on a lot of the players that's there, and they're in the Hall of Fame. Is like, I mean, at some point, you have to put somebody else in there that's arguably better as a coach. You have to
Yeah.
because we've seen it all throughout sports. Because if he doesn't make it, we can say the same thing about Steve Kerr in the NBA.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
can say the same exact thing. He went from going there and of course having 3 rings as a player, but then there's like you have no rings as a coach. Now you're going into fresh. You're pretty much bringing in a young Steph Curry, like a young Draymond. Then you're trying to put pieces together, and then
Yeah.
like that team has pretty much carried you this far, and now like at this point he can't even really get the team in order because he's so used to everybody doing anything on their own. You
Yeah.
had KD, Draymond, Jordan Poole at one point. Like you had so many different players that were able to really bring success to the team. So if Bill was not in it, I don't think Steve Kerr should be in it. Like that's just the way I think because like you can't sit there and say like yeah their success is completely on the player. Like no, bro. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Brady
yeah.
left and went to Tampa Bay and still had a ring, but that doesn't mean that if Brady wasn't there all those years with Belichick, he wouldn't be as good as he was then. At the Bucks. You can't say he did not at least try to help develop Brady to who
Yeah.
he is today. You can't say that, you know.
Do
So
you
I
think
I
he'll probably
think
be in next year? Or
I mean I don't see why he wouldn't. Like if he's not in this year, okay, cool, maybe. Like that's not too much of a problem. Always next
yeah.
year. But then it's like if he doesn't make it next year, then it's like, okay, now there's gonna be some other questions involved. Now it's like, is it really just because of his career, or is it like stuff going on with as far as him? Was it him going to UNC now and then finally, not having the best season as coach or whatever? Is that the reason why, or is it just because like you had Brady, Gronk, you had Edelman, you had all these other players, Stephon Gilmore, you had so many players on the team that now it's like now they're all gone. He barely had 1 or 2 good seasons. Is that the reason
Yeah.
why? Like that. It's stuff like that that's going to come into play if he definitely does not make it next year. But he has to make it next year. There's no way he doesn't. And I know people are saying like, "Oh, it's the voting process and stuff." If the voting process is really that crucial, then a lot of these players wouldn't even have made it to the Hall of Fame because there's so many fan favorites in today's
Yeah.
game. There's so many fan favorites. So
I mean, I was
I
definitely surprised. Like,
yeah,
is
like
definitely a snub.
I mean he did like yeah us as like that people that really watch football and that like study the game and know it. Yeah, we have like our opinions on like maybe he shouldn't, but then
Or
it's like bro, I mean
reservations.
yeah, like bro, he's literally one of the greatest coaches of all time. You have to get that to him. He has the
Yeah.
resume for it. Like you have to at least put him in there.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it for our NFL section. We will have one more episode before the Super Bowl. We will probably just talk more headlines and just a preview of the Super Bowl. I'm very excited. I really hope nothing happens to my dear, dear players, and I hope that we go into the Super Bowl with the full force of God and all that is holy in Seattle. Yeah, with that, we're signing off.